Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
I'm Bull Nakano.
And I'm the bastard child of Bob Backlund.
Damn, I don't know if I actually want to be that.
Hey,
that pretty hardcore.
Backlund's pretty cool.
Hey, not all of us know who our dad is, so gotta start somewhere.
I mean, if Backlund's your dad, you've got like a foot on him.
Hey, it's possible.
You never know.
Yep.
That red hair you don't have.
Hey, my beard used to be red.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 125, Monday Night Raw.
125, holy shit. Look at us.
Creeping. Consistently creeping.
Right?
Never missed a week.
Thank God to the lead time.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God there's too much wrestling. the amount of things we could have covered and did not. But tonight we're covering a Raw, so there's probably a reason.
That's totally right. We could be on episode 125. We're in 1984.
Yeah, watching like Georgia wrestling tapes or something off of YouTube.
Yeah, that'd been horrible.
I mean, maybe
Some would have been good.
Some of those
sure.
episodes
I'm sure there's some good stuff for sure.
There's some fun stuff.
But it's like the TV
most
taping
of the time
stuff.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that stuff existed to sell out big shows that were not taped.
Correct. But this is the 73rd episode of Raw, produced by WWF. It would take place on August 1st, 1994, from the Beagley Center in Youngstown, Ohio, with an attendance of 8,000 people.
So Raw's on the road. They're almost a year and a half in.
They came to Youngstown at the start of my birthday month, August 1994.
You were born in 94?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. I know you weren't born in 94.
Yes. This was the 17th birthday month.
So, for your 17th birthday, did you have what you brought for us?
No, because I was super picky back then, and I didn't even like this stuff touching each other. Growing up, I was a kid who had to have my food separated. If it touched, it would cry. I had to eat things in certain order. You know, hot things had to be hot, cold things had to be cold. And if they were, the hot thing was cold by the time I got to it, I'd cry. Obviously not when I was 17. I just wouldn't eat it.
Yeah. You sound like a blast.
Yeah, I was the super picky kid who turned 25, got high, and said, "Fuck it, I just want to eat everything. So shut up and try this."
Yeah, kicked your food OCD to the floor.
Yes.
Did you have a different fork for each food item? That would have been extra rough.
No.
Okay. This is my fork for
My mom
for
did
vegetables.
invest in those little special paper plates that had the little divider thing.
Oh yeah, I think that's just all kids have. Those.
Yeah.
Mine was clowns. It had clowns.
Oh, see, I love clowns.
Do you?
I still do.
You might be the only guy that loves clowns.
Yeah. No, 17th birthday. I don't remember what the hell I had.
If you did, it'd be pretty impressive.
I didn't really mean for you to
No.
think about it.
Now that I'm thinking, though, I'm trying to remember.
It's all a transition.
Yeah. No, we are...
These foods are touching.
These are touching. You got foods touching. You got hot and cold going together. Soft and crunchy, salty and sweet. All these little descriptive words.
This would have given you an aneurysm at the age of 5.
I would have been curled up in the fetal position, just crying and waiting for morning to come. But yeah, we're in Ohio. We've only been to Ohio a couple times, and one thing I've learned is Ohio people like to put French fries in stuff. We had the Polish boy once upon a time that had it was a Polish dog that had the fries and the slaw and the spicy barbecue sauce on it. That was pretty tasty.
Very good.
But I was doing some research and looking up what foods were started in Ohio and found out that in Columbus, Ohio, a popular ginger-haired burger place got its start. Most people know of it. Wendy's. And a popular treat from there is their Frosty and their fries, which go perfectly together.
So I'm going to dub the Dave Thomas special, which probably isn't true. But that's what we're going to call it.
Hey, whatever you call it, it's good. You dip your fries in one of their Frosties. You can do chocolate. You can do vanilla. You can do a twist, I'm sure.
I didn't even realize they had vanilla Frosties.
They came out with vanilla not too long ago.
All right.
Or, I mean, it's been a little while.
It's probably
a few
been 5 years, 6 years. So I remember being back in high school and like we'd go to Wendy's for lunch, and I'd always heard about this Frosty and fries thing, and I did it, and people thought it was gross, and I'm just like, "Have you tried it?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Guys, you're missing out."
In the like early to mid 2000s, Wendy's had like the greatest dollar menu, which was great for somebody in high school or just out of high school that smoked pot and drank too much. And I was me and my friends, and the Wendy's dollar menu explosion post going to a crummy local bar was a thing for sure.
I've been there. Yeah, Wendy's. I didn't have one in my little small town growing up. We had them up in Lincoln, so I'd get one every now and then. And then when I started working at Blockbuster, there was a Wendy's like 2 blocks away. And fat, chubby Shane back then was all about walking over to the Wendy's and getting me a spicy chicken and a burger or fries or whatever.
Your spicy chicken isn't as good as it used to be.
No, it's changed up like 14 different times over the last couple years, and they just haven't found. Like, there'll be one that I'll get that's awesome, and then I'll go back 2 weeks later to get one, and it's a totally different shape, a totally different texture.
Consistency.
And I know Dave's gone, but come on, man.
Was the Dave in those commercials the actual Dave?
Mm-hmm.
What a good looking old man.
Yep.
Just love the look of him. He actually kind of looked like he could have been he would have looked nice sitting next to Bob Cottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a face they don't make anymore.
I miss the good spicy chickens at Wendy's.
I do too.
When I didn't eat meat for 2014, that was the one food that I craved the most, was a Wendy's spicy chicken. And I don't know if it's because I took the year off. They decided to change the recipe on it, but yeah. It's just been...
they were like, oh, well, we're not selling as many spicy chickens.
We've lost our...
Well, can we get it for cheaper?
Well, they tried that whole 2 for $5 thing, and I don't know if it was too popular or not popular enough, or ran the world out of the good Wendy's chicken sandwiches, but something's happened, so I've been reduced to this tasty little treat of fries and Frosty instead, because can't go wrong.
Well, while we're still enjoying these Frosties and fries, a couple films would hit the theater the previous weekend of this Raw. It Could Happen to You and The Mask.
This is the year of Jim Carrey. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura all came out in the same year. Mask is the one of those 3 movies I saw in the theater because I was a little kid. So
it looks like a kid's film.
Yeah, and The Mask, like, it's goofy and fun for kids, but it also like holds up as an adult. But, you know, Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber I saw on videotape because my mom would always vet my older cousin to see if it was appropriate, and she'd be like, no. I remember her I finally got to see Ace Ventura. I wanted to see it so bad, and she like fast forward through the sex scene. I totally wouldn't have got it at the time because it's basically just a bunch of animals squawking and like a bed shaking. I would have been confused. But I do not know It Could Happen to You. I know that you two probably know what that is.
Oh, yeah. I worked at Blockbuster, so I've seen the preview of this movie many times.
But have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Is it good? Who's in it? Is it a rom-com?
It was a rom-com. Nicolas Cage.
I like Nicolas Cage. I like...
Bridget Fonda.
Okay.
Rosie Perez, I believe.
Yeah. It's based on a true story, actually, of a New York police officer. He's sitting at a diner, and Bridget Fonda plays the waitress. And they decide to buy a lottery ticket together. They end up winning, and obviously the movie is a romantic comedy, so you can probably figure out the plot and details from there. In real life, they were the police officer was actually married, so they didn't actually
put that in there. Yeah. They might do that now and like make the movie a little bit more serious, but in the 90s we're gonna pick the fun parts out.
Had they actually gone through it this way, it may have ended up as a one of those cold case files or something like that instead.
This was right before Nick Cage started doing like The Rock, and
this was
between Moonstruck and Con Air. We had What was it called? It Could Happen to You.
The
most nondescript title of a movie ever.
But it's actually...
It's pretty good.
It's probably one of my favorite romantic comedies.
Okay, that's saying a lot, because I dislike most romantic comedies, but most of them aren't very good. But I love your classics. I love Moonstruck, and I love like When Harry Met Sally, and You've Got Mail, and the ones everyone agrees are good. Sleepless in Seattle.
This falls in line with
those.
With all those.
Okay, cool. Because I think I named
someone,
most of the good ones just now.
If someone told me Nora Ephron wrote it, I wouldn't be like, no, she didn't.
Okay, that's good, because all the movies I just named are Nora Ephron movies, with the exception of Moonstruck.
I mean, she didn't write it.
No,
but I'm
just saying if you wouldn't be surprised if she had her hand in it. It was definitely inspired by works that she had made.
I'm curious who wrote it. Let's see. Screenplay by Jane Anderson.
No, I don't know.
What else have you done?
We got the...
Well, I just pulled it up, and she's written episodes of the Facts of Life, The Wonder Years, so I like that already. She wrote How to Make an American Quilt.
That sounds like some shit my mom would watch.
She's written
my mom also
Mad
goes
Men, The Wife.
Okay. She's just a TV writer, mostly.
She's banging out some
episodes for quite a while. She went from Facts of Life to writing on Mad Men. She's a through and through writer.
Hey, I mean, she won me already just with Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look at her. Do I recognize her? No, I don't. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, It Could Happen to You, which is could be the name of just about any movie. The Mask could have been called It Could Happen to You.
That's true.
Very true.
Man, the villain in The Mask is so good. He already has like the scary, handsome face, but then you put the green mask on him and it sinks his eyes in. Pretty wild. Plus, can't think of a film where Cameron Diaz looks any hotter, because she's like hotter than the surface of the. She's hotter than the surface of the sun in this movie. It's wild.
I think the only other movie that I thought she was like super hot in was like Charlie's Angels.
I mean, yeah, wildly attractive lady, but there's something special about her in The Mask.
Are you saying there's something about Cameron Diaz?
Yes.
So
and I'm not only talking about the cum in her hair.
I do not like that movie.
What movie?
Something About Mary.
Oh, really?
I do not like that movie.
That's a little too. Did the Farrelly brothers get a little too nasty with that one for you?
Most Farrelly brother movies are they were just
a little too Farrelly brothers for you.
But Dumb and Dumber though is so good.
I don't like Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my god.
So I like Dumb and Dumber.
I quote the movie all the time. It's so funny.
I still love you.
It's fine. We don't have to like the same thing. If all your friends like the same things, it's boring.
Did you ever see Son of Mask or whatever the hell that movie was called?
No.
Shouldn't have been made.
But we have read the graphic novel
I have.
The Mask was based off of.
I have, yes.
Oh, yeah?
It is good. It's a lot more adult.
It is very adult.
It's not for children. The art is great. It is very good and interesting, and the movie is basically just loosely based off of like the first story.
Yes, and that story gets really crazy in the book.
Yeah. But, I mean, honestly, the movie is probably better off for deviating.
Yes.
And I'm not to say that I didn't like the comic, but, like, the movie is great.
Well, let's get to Monday night.
Get
a little raw.
Let's do it.
Hop in the town car and speed to Youngstown, Ohio.
We get narration from Vince McMahon over footage of WrestleMania 10, where Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon met in a ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
Boy, did they ever.
I mean, yeah, nobody forgets that one.
We then get 2 weeks ago on Raw, and we see Ramon in the ring with Diesel, who is now the Intercontinental Champion, when HBK would sneak up behind him, but Razor would turn in time, only for Shawn to stall long enough for Big Daddy Cool to get to his feet to attack from behind into a super kick from Michaels. Ramon then says he won't have to worry about Michaels after tonight in a promo. Shawn then says that Razor won't even make it to SummerSlam. And then we get our opening video before Vince welcomes us to the show.
Welcome!
And he's joined by Macho Man Randy Savage on commentary. And Macho has a comment about where Vince has been.
I can tell you one thing. He's not guilty.
Because it basically says that his prediction is that Ramon will win, because Vince just beat the government.
Big statement there.
I know. I mean, he's been doing it for decades at this point. Can't imagine the taxes for WWF and WWE over the years probably look incredible.
Here's the thing. In 1994, that line probably made no sense to anyone because they basically were just like, he's out with a neck injury.
It all under the rug.
But us looking back at it now, we
Everybody
know
knows.
exactly what that line means.
Yeah.
And I literally wrote, I wonder if Savage had a job after the show.
But Vince McMahon kind of smirked. He had an A reaction. I don't know if it was a smirk. I don't know if he was kind of like wide-eyed. But Savage didn't have Vince McMahon or somebody in his ear telling him what to say.
No.
Or
This
not
is
to
straight
say.
up Savage
This is
being a savage.
This is Savage. Savage being a savage. And it is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, talking steroid trial, Vince McMahon did the ambulance chasing a lawyer's suggestion of wearing a neck brace to the court for sympathy. It's well documented and talked about. I have a question.
Okay.
Diesel, we didn't watch Diesel get the belt.
No, we did not.
Did he get it like off television? Was it a like house show title change and then they like explained it away later, or it's just like, oh well, we put it on?
It may have been on a Raw.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was probably a Raw.
My assumption is that, Shawn Michaels probably interfered. Diesel got a pin over Razor. Here we are. He wants to get the belt back from Diesel, but wants Shawn out of the way. Blah, blah, blah. Kind of like wrestling. Kind of like how you book wrestling.
Yeah. So we go to our first match of Shawn Michaels with Diesel versus Razor Ramon. And this is actually the Heartbreak Kid's first match since WrestleMania 10.
Crazy.
He had basically taken some time off to heal from some injuries. Basically just being Diesel's second the entire time. So he'd been around, but he hasn't wrestled in a match.
Build up the boy.
That's right.
Heal up. Probably do cool drugs.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, if there's anything we know about Shawn Michaels.
I'm gonna guess there may have been some drugs. There may have been some sex.
His muscles may have been healing, but his brain was probably hurting.
Yeah.
So as the match gets going, Shawn shoves Ramon, taking control momentarily with his quickness until Razor greets Michaels with a right hand and tossing him to the corner for a flare flip to the floor.
And what a flip to the floor. It's not like he doesn't stop on the apron. Like he really goes
All the way down.
Yeah, like heels over head and head over heels. That's a hell of a way to take your first big bump after
right.
Especially not being even in the match. Or no, sorry, being your first match back.
Yes.
He hadn't been in matches previous.
And there's nobody that can do the flare flip quite like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
He takes it.
Yeah.
No, I mean even Flair.
Shawn Michaels.
Even Flair would say Michaels does it better. He adds that Shawn Michaels-ness to it. Going
neck first onto the mat, which Ric Flair probably not going to do.
No.
So the bad guy keeps HBK from re-entering the ring with right hands, but Shawn rakes the eyes and heads up top, only to be met with a right hand to the midsection on his way down. Ramon telegraphs a back body drop, so Michaels hits a swinging neckbreaker, following up with a knee drop, a turnbuckle smash, and comes off the middle rope with a crossbody. But Razor catches him to hit a fall-away slam for a 2 count.
I mean, if the guy's got like 6+ inches on you and like 40 pounds on you, can't be doing crossbodies while they're standing.
No.
If you're gonna crossbody, they better be on the floor or like on the mat, splash them.
Yeah, not this early.
Not standing.
Bad guy takes control with some arm work, but HBK escapes with several forearms, a choke, and a snapmare. Shawn drop kicks Ramon to get a 2 count before dropping him with multiple jabs and right hands, and starts choking him on the ropes, with Diesel getting involved as well. Michaels applies a sleeper, only for Razor to battle back with elbows, take HBK over with a backslide to get a near fall. Shawn comes back with a clothesline for a 2 count of his own, goes for a drop kick, but the bad guy blocks and catapults Michaels over the ropes onto Diesel at ringside as we go to commercial.
I mean, what a way to go to commercial break.
Yes.
That's how you do it, guys. Not a rest hold and you come back to a rest hold.
When we come back, we see a replay of that catapult before HBK pulls Ramon into a turnbuckle and heads up to the top rope, but he is press slammed off to the mat. Razor applies an ab stretch, but a rake of the eyes helps Shawn break free, deliver a few elbow smashes, but the bad guy is able to face plant Michaels on a failed backdrop attempt. Ramon follows up with a back body drop of his own before locking in a bear hug for several moments.
Oh no.
Until HBK is finally able to elbow out and go for a body slam, but his back hurts too much.
I mean, that checks out.
So Razor goes right back to the bear hug.
So this is where the back injury first takes place, huh?
Also, I mean, bear hug. We're like, oh, a bear hug. The bear hug did something. We saw that it hurt his back. What does he do? He goes back to the bear hug. All moves can mean something if you allow them to.
And this is one of those great situations where it's a big bear of a man putting a bear hug on a smaller guy and squeezing the shit out of him.
Exactly. I don't need to see like Duggan and Valentine
No.
doing bear hugs to each other. That's no good.
Duggan trying to do a bear hug on Andre.
No, yeah, like extra silly.
It's as wonderful as those headbutts to the stomach that you love so much.
Oh my gosh. That's my test of strength. Is a headbutt guts.
Shawn escapes the bear hug again, this time with a sunset flip. But the bad guy stays up and punches down, going for a cover, only for Michaels to reverse it for a near fall. Ramon with a quick clothesline to recover, charges in again, but is tossed to the floor, where Diesel clotheslines him as we again go to commercial.
They're really nailing these commercial breaks. I feel like that there's just something that televised wrestling could learn from watching commercial breaks from on Raw in '94.
When we come back, Razor is rolled back into the ring, but HBK decides an elbow drop on the apron is a great idea, following up with quick jabs in the corner. Shawn connects with a leaping back elbow for a 2 count, but the bad guy blocks a right hand and begins to mount a comeback with right hands of his own, only for Michaels to lock on a sleeper to slow the momentum.
Razor sells the sleeper real well to the mat. It's like, oh, cool. I mean, if we're going to have Shawn Michaels back after a while, you're going to have... It's great that he's back in here with Razor Ramon, a guy that probably only gotten better in the months since the ladder match.
Yeah. Picking up right where he left off.
Mm-hmm.
Ramon's fading, but he gets his arm up on the third attempt by the ref.
He begins to bad guy up.
He hits a back suplex, and both men are down. Razor slowly makes a cover for a 2 count, followed by HBK reversing an Irish whip, only to telegraph the back body drop, allowing the bad guy to kick him. Ramon then starts running the ropes, but the two men collide for a double KO.
Dun, dun, dun.
They make it to their feet, and Razor's delivering right hand after right hand, tossing Shawn to the corner for his version of the flare flip, followed by a bad guy clothesline for a near fall. Ramon then sets Michaels up on the top for a super backdrop, but Razor's elbowed off to the mat, followed by Shawn leaping off with a crossbody. Woo! But the bad guy uses the momentum to roll on top for a 2 count.
I know that one. They actually got me. I was like, he rolled it over. He's bigger than him. Like, you know, he's the face. Let's do this. Good shit.
Shawn with a super kick for a near fall. He then signals for the Razor's Edge, stealing the opponent's finisher.
I know, it's fun. I mean, he's a shit heel.
But Ramon blocks and backdrops Michaels. The bad guy then goes for the Razor's Edge himself when Diesel jumps on the apron, so Ramon starts fighting off both men. HBK grabs the Intercontinental title and tries to hit Razor with it, but the bad guy ducks and back body drops Shawn. Ramon with an Irish whip, but it's reversed, which sends him right into a big boot from Diesel on the apron, allowing Michaels to roll him up for the pin and the win. Post-match, HBK and Big Daddy Cool are beating down Razor for several moments, with Diesel dropping an elbow off the ropes. Officials finally show up to break it up, but Big Daddy Cool runs them off. But then they decide to leave anyways.
Yeah, it's like you run them off and then you leave. I guess they're like, well, our message was made.
Yep. They'll get there next.
But yeah, I do love. I guess I'm not sure if this is like or I guess I'm thinking of like a Saturday night when they used to swap the WWF for like Saturday Night Live when it was not airing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But is this like late night, or are they just front loading it with like the best match just to keep people in?
No, that's
what a lot of what they did back then.
Yeah,
if it was especially when it was live, they always usually put the best match early.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were running short on time, they could just kind of.
It's like, oh, we'll just
go to the finish.
we're just gonna keep. Yeah,
which
like we'll go off air.
Which we might see here in a minute.
Yeah, we will.
We then go to the back. Tom Bennett there for the SummerSlam report, brought to you by Domino's.
No Noid in sight.
No.
But hey, everyone, call Ticketmaster to get your tickets.
I saw.
I don't know that number.
It's probably changed since the time they had it
I
on there.
imagine so for sure.
Todd then goes through the matchups we will see at SummerSlam in a few weeks. And then we go to our second match. Bull Nakano with Luna Vachon versus Alundra Blayze.
Non-title match, but Alundra Blayze has the pink women's belt.
She do.
Most famous for being tossed into the garbage
Which
in the moderate to near future.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bull Nakano. This is our first Bull Nakano.
That's our first one.
And our first Alundra Blayze, also known as.
It's not our first Alundra Blayze.
It's not?
Medusa.
No.
Okay.
No, she popped up on.
She was at WrestleMania. She
Yeah.
was at Royal Rumble as well, I believe.
Yeah, because she had a match with.
Rock and Robin.
No, it was like
Wendy Richter.
Jumping Bomb Angel.
No. It's all good. Leilani Kai?
Yes.
Was it Leilani
Yeah,
Kai?
Leilani Kai.
It's like I was going through women's wrestlers that we've covered. Leilani Kai. Bull Nakano has a incredible look. Most people know who she is, if they've never seen her wrestle. I'm rocking one of my favorite shirts for a few reasons. Number one, it's a red, white, and blue tie-dye t-shirt that has Bull Nakano on the t-shirt, who's also wearing a red, white, and blue tie-dye t-shirt that also happens to be a Grateful Dead t-shirt. So it's a Bull Nakano t-shirt that's the same color as Bull Nakano's t-shirt, and it also happens to be a Grateful Dead t-shirt.
I like
It's
it.
very funny. But yeah, the shock of I don't even know what you call it. It's like not a flat top, but it's like a
Frankenhair.
yeah, but it's like directly straight up. It's kind of like if you added a foot onto like Guile from Street Fighter's hair. Yeah. And then she's got the of course like weird lightning bolt like stuff on her face.
Yeah.
It's like a blue lightning bolt that like kind of almost looks like a cracked egg. It's great. She's got a great look, and she looks pretty scary. She is a large lady.
Yeah, that's one badass bitch.
But since this is her first time that we've seen her, I have to mention that Bull Nakano is a Wrestling Observer newsletter Hall of Famer.
Is there any Japanese Hall of Fame we don't know about?
If there is,
We don't know about
I
it.
don't know about it. Other than there is one, but there's only the New Japan has one, but they only have 6 or 7 people in it.
Yeah,
basically.
it's not like
They
the
basically went,
way that
we're gonna do this, and then they went, this is stupid.
yeah, like you guys know if you remember them, if they ever had a big boy belt, if they ever pulled at the front door, they're a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
You all know who they are.
So the match gets going with Blayze putting her hand out for a handshake, only for Bull to slap it away, and then toss Alundra throat first into the ropes, followed by a clothesline.
Bull just jumping right in.
Mm-hmm.
Blayze ducks a clothesline and delivers a pair of kicks, but a shot to the gut puts Nakano back in control. Bull tosses Alundra to the mat several times by the hair, but Blayze comes back with a Hurricanrana for a 2 count.
I mean, incredible Hurricanrana, but Medusa is really
Alundra Blayze.
Alundra Blayze. I'm sorry, it's hard
You're right.
to call her that. Alundra Blayze is really bumping her ass off.
Yeah, she is. And Bull Nakano's hair does not move at all during that Hurricanrana.
It's like 3 bottles of Elmer's in that shit.
Spinning heel kick by Alundra, and tries for a second one, but Nakano ducks and begins to choke Blayze before using the hair to toss her down multiple times. Bull applies a sleeper before using the top rope to choke Alundra, and hits a pile driver, but only for 2 as she pulls Blayze's shoulders up.
Which makes so much sense. Because it's like, that should be the end of this match. So if you don't tease being the heel and pull him, it's like you just pile drived her. You got weight on her. You're meaner than her. If she didn't pull her up, it'd be like, what is this bullshit? What is this fake bullshit? But no, she pulled her up because she's mean and scary, and she's got Luna out there to remind you how mean and scary she really is.
Powerbomb by Nakano for a near fall and goes for a second, but Blayze floats over and hits a sunset flip for a 2 count. Alundra goes to the top middle rope, coming off with a missile dropkick, but Bull moves out of the way and picks her up for a body slam, then comes off the top with a leg drop, only for Blayze to avoid. Alundra hits a German suplex for a near fall.
Oh, bridging German suplex.
Nakano then reverses her waistlock to try for a German of her own, but Blayze rolls her up for a 2 count. Alundra heads to the middle rope, but Bull press slams her off and heads up top herself, only to be drop kicked over to the floor.
I mean, this match is really quite good. They're really not wasting any time.
No.
And they're really wrestling. Is not Leilani Kai versus Rockin' Robin.
No, these two have some...
Which nothing against. I like those ladies, and I like
kickers.
Some of those earlier women's matches we watched. But this looks more... It's cleaner, more precise, and worked much more similar to a men's match.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah, it's not the cutesy little stuff that they used to do back in the...
It's not all... it's not
late 80s.
It's bigger moves, not as much like hair pull snapmares.
Yeah.
Which is hair pull snapmare. That's a...
I mean, that's a lethal...
That's the thing.
That's a lethal combination there, especially when you're wearing just a leotard.
Yeah.
Blayze goes up to the top rope to hit a crossbody to the outside.
Come on.
They're both up and she goes for an Irish whip, but Nakano reverses it to send Alundra into the ring post.
Posted.
Damn.
Blayze then back body drops a charging Bull in as the bell rings for a double count out.
Yep.
Super fast double count out by any wrestling count
I think he literally started counting as soon as Alundra jumped off the top rope.
Yeah.
As soon as she hit the side, her feet hit left, and she doesn't not even off the top rope. She goes to the post. She steps to the post and dives off. It's really great. It's a lot of fast action done professionally, and I mean, we've seen guys not do some of the stuff like Alundra Blayze jumping off of, and the Bull Nakano spin throws of Alundra Blayze. I mean, this is the way you set up a match at SummerSlam.
Yep, it gives us a taste of
what they
can do and makes us want a little bit more.
Yeah, we need to see who's the better woman.
Mm-hmm.
Post-match, Nakano is on the apron arguing with Alundra when Luna comes in from behind to attack her, but Blayze slaps her away before tossing Vachon into Bull to knock both women to the floor.
And she slapped her good, too.
Oh, yeah. Lay it in.
Promotional considerations provided by IcoPro. It's what Razor Ramon uses.
One of the many things Razor Ramon uses.
Yeah, I wonder what he uses those razors for. IcoPro, it's still strong, maybe not the word, but it's going. Mm-hmm. I still wish that I could find some expired IcoPro and we could could take it on an episode.
There's got to be a time capsule somewhere that just has a surplus
of IcoPro.
There's got to be some of those mystery boxes on Amazon that you can buy.
A mystery box on Amazon.
Yeah. It's just, you pay $25, you pay $50, you pay $100, you have no idea what's in it. It's just this box of whatever the person decides to send you.
Yeah, of 30-year-old creatine.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great?
It'd be so good. I think the IcoPro logo is truly fantastic, which makes me want to take it.
Mm-hmm. Or, mix in some of that IcoPro into a Truly.
There you go. IcoPro and White Claw Summer.
Yeah. Sell that seltzer.
We then get an ad for next week's Raw. You're going to see Bam Bam Bigelow and IRS of the $1 Million Corporation face Doink the Clown and Tatanka to headline the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess Bam Bam's never really going to get a big solo run here, so he's hanging out with IRS.
Don't give up.
Could be worse. IRS, we like IRS. He's a good worker. Gimmick
Don't
stinks,
give up.
but hey.
He could have main event future in
The near future.
In
the near
yeah,
future.
yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Always in my heart. He's got more upside than Tatanka.
I mean, he's
King
aligned.
of the mid card.
He's aligned with the $1 Million Corporation now. So Ted only does
He only
big
picks
things.
winners because he only pays for everything.
That's right.
So good.
Because everybody has a price.
We then go to the King's Court with Jerry the King Lawler, and it's actually promoted to be after the commercial. But Lawler is then shown coming to ringside and heads out into the crowd, which confuses Vince and Macho Man, and me as well.
Yeah.
The King tells Savage that there is a very special couple, a gentleman with his date, which Macho wouldn't know anything about because his dates are all inflatable.
Good ass burn.
And the computer dating service just called and said they had a perfect date for you, but the zoo won't let her out.
I mean, Lawler is prime form behind this
Macho
microphone.
didn't play along that well, though, because he just kind of admitted to it all of, who told?
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like
He's
that.
like, yes, I have dated some dogs. It's like, all right, man. Way to throw some ladies under the bus.
Lawler then pulls Mike Boyle and Andrea, where he totally ruins the surprise by calling her his soon-to-be fiancée.
Yeah.
Nice job, Jer.
Maybe that was part of the heelishness.
This might not be his fourth engagement like Lawler is used to, but damn.
Yeah, we don't in Ohio. We don't do it like we do in Memphis.
No.
Mike then asks the question, but before she answers, the King drags her away as we go to commercial.
And this poor lady is so embarrassed.
As she should be.
Yeah, it's only going down from here.
We come back from commercial and Andrea is in the ring with Jerry, where he starts just making fun of Mike, who's still in the crowd. But then he asks Andrea to answer, and she says yes. I don't know why.
Yeah. And especially after Jerry says that like his last Mike's last girlfriend had been around more than a carousel.
But then Mike looks
Yeah.
over to the girl that's standing to his left or right or something
It's
like
probably
that,
his
like it
ex.
was his ex-girlfriend. Like,
I think it's
No,
like his
whoops,
probably
sorry.
his sister or a close friend. But then he says Lawler says that if they ever have kids, he wants one of the puppies, and he says that she has an elephant nose, and then tries to go in for a kiss. She has a large nose, but it's a cute nose. It's so brutal. I feel so bad for this lady. She's just got like embarrassed and just doesn't know how to react, so she's got the awkward smile the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after calling her ugly, and then he goes in for a kiss, and I'm just like, Jerry, you just
One
were in
or
trouble
the
with
other.
the law.
Oh yeah, well that
Did this
too.
with women.
That too.
Ixnay on the kissing A.
Yeah. It was
Onte
bad enough that you just
Andre
like
for Resident
Yeah.
Prey.
that you verbally assaulted her and basically called her a dog.
But after she leaves, the King then welcomes out Bob Backlund, the
Who
man
never lost.
who never lost the WWF Championship.
Sorry for jumping on that. I got excited.
Did you know why?
I did not.
Oh, I did not know why he never lost.
So, back in 1983, his manager, Arnold Scotland, would throw the towel in when Iron Sheik had him in the camel clutch.
A real Mr. Perfect type situation.
And then, obviously, as we all know, Iron Sheik then lost it to Hulk Hogan.
Should have broke his leg.
It's a heartless way to lose the belt. Damn it! Just
Yeah.
throwing in the towel.
And Backlund
Didn't get to quit, didn't get pinned.
was a tweener, but I guess Iron Sheik, put a heel on top.
Yeah.
And then he should have broke his leg. Iron Sheik.
Backlund then starts talking and says, I have tried to improve your lives in every way, but you people had changed in the last 10 years, and I am disappointed in how weak you are. I never gave up, and I never submitted, and I'm still the champ.
It's been 11 years, Bob Backlund.
Hey,
Longest reigning champion since Bruno, bro.
The
never forget, never let go.
He looks so much like a car salesman in that suit. It is not a good look for Bob Backlund. I don't know why.
He looks like a car salesman on anything that he wears.
That's true, but
He
when
could
he's
be in
wearing
his wrestling trunks,
when
and he
he's
still
wearing
looks like a
red
car
wrestling
salesman.
trunks, it's like, well, at least this guy is like pretty fit and quick on his feet. And how can he be a heel with a face like a 12-year-old boy?
Hey, Howdy Doody had an evil side, man.
So Vince starts talking over the interview to throw it to some footage, but it never starts. So the King just keeps going when all of a sudden the footage starts.
We're only 73 episodes into
That's true.
Raw, so you know.
And on that footage, we see Bret Hart in the ring with Bob, offering him a handshake. But Backlund would slap him and lock on the chicken wing, all while the interview keeps going before McMahon sends it to commercial.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a Bret Backlund match. Sounds fun.
You might see it sooner than you think.
It sounds like a fun in between actual potential. So, yeah, like it's like nobody think Bob Backlund's gonna beat Bret Hart, but I'd any match that Bret Hart wants to have with somebody, I want to see.
Yeah, agreed.
Snap into some Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
I hope they never stop using his image for Slim Jims.
Perpetuity.
Yeah, I mean,
He is Slim Jim.
Yeah.
keep Lanny paid.
That's right. We then go to our third match. The Smoking Guns
Oh, this is where they've been hanging out at Raw.
of Bart and Billy Gunn versus George Anderson and Tom Bennett.
Who?
You're
George Anderson and Tom Bennett.
exactly.
The $100 tag team of the night.
Yes.
$50 a pop.
Ole's long lost third cousin and Mike Bennett's dad.
The ring. The guys that help put up the ring.
So Billy hits a drop toe hold on Anderson, a body slam by Bart, double Russian leg sweep by the Guns,
Which was pretty nice.
and a running knee drop by Billy as we go to commercial.
Yeehaw!
We're back, a drop kick by Billy. Bart picks Anderson up in a gut wrench backbreaker, followed by
neat.
Billy coming off the top rope with an elbow drop for the pin and the win. As Vince says his goodbyes.
I mean, you know, they just had to kill some time here.
Yeah. And this is why they start their shows with their main event, because they end shows with matches like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
how
they ran out of time.
yeah, how upsetting would it have been to not get the finish of the other two matches? Pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
So I ask you, gentlemen, what are your overall thoughts of this Monday Night Raw?
For a 2.25 match show, two of these matches are great and absolutely worth your time.
Yes. And then it gets weird and...
Even the Lawler
Stuff.
thing is worth your time if
Oh,
you've
yeah.
already watched the two matches because he's so good at being a bastard.
I'm still trying to figure out, though, if Mike and Andrea were somehow...
Plants
If,
or
yeah,
Yeah,
if they were plants,
yeah,
if they had
or-
won some sort of a contest, if it was actually Lawler's
I have
new
no clue.
fiance and he just wanted to get some camera time for her and a kiss on screen.
I have no idea. I feel like she did not look comfortable with him at all, so there's no way they knew each other.
Well, she didn't look comfortable with Mike either.
I mean, she was at a wrestling show. She's probably not her thing.
Yeah. Well, that was my thought as I was watching it, is not really knowing what was going to be happening, is that girl looks like she's going to be pissed off if she gets engaged to, or gets proposed to, and then that's what ends up happening. But
I don't know. I liked her big nose. She was cute.
she's got very 90s
So
hair.
it sounds like we're all kind of pretty much in agreement. First two matches are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you cherry picked this Raw for a reason,
Because it's a really, really good episode.
and there's two
basically.
really good reasons.
Yes.
The King's Court is just weird, and even
It's-
the Backlunds, I don't feel like it builds Backlund up at all.
No.
Backlund is just not a very. You just can't believe him as a heel.
Yeah,
It's just
it
impossible
just-
to believe him as a heel.
It's
So
just planting
it's weird.
another seed of the crazy man.
What he's saying all works, but it's just like not the right face, not the right intensity. It's like trying to turn Steamboat heel. It's like good fucking luck. Like the one of the best wrestlers that has zero mic skills and never got better at them. He's just like not comfortable that way, but he's more than comfortable in the ring. He's overly comfortable in the ring. He's great, but he just doesn't have a face for being a bad guy, and barely has one for being the good guy. And Backlund legitimately looks like the kid they bring in like season 7 of a sitcom to like bring in the like cute kid to try to inject some life into the ratings or whatever.
Oh, he's the Oliver on the Brady
He's
Bunch.
the Oliver. He is Oliver on the Brady Bunch. Exactly. I was trying to remember it, and I knew that one of you two would know where I was coming from.
Yeah, I mean, first couple matches good, and then the weird Lawler thing, the weird Backlund thing, and then the smoking guns.
I mean, they've got smoking buns.
Makes
for
you want
sure.
to go to Wendy's and get yourself a Frosty and a fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really have to worry about missing anything other than Vince saying goodbye.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are your favorite, best, most memorable moments of this show?
Smart.
Medusa off the post. I was like, yo, I didn't like her going to the floor. I was like, maybe Bull will catch her, like a crossbody catch, like we saw Razor do with Shawn in the previous match, but on the floor. But no, she does it to the floor, but not even to the floor off the apron or off of the ropes. She like steps to the post and jumps off. Pretty wild. And then of course, like we know that Razor and Shawn are friends.
They know how to deliver.
Yeah, they did the ladder match, and they have chemistry, and they are real life friends. So Shawn is going to go out of his way to work with somebody he likes. You would imagine, considering from what we understand, he didn't really like anybody at this point in time, and at points in time, like post this match. So it's hard to complain about that. It's like, oh, who doesn't want the ladder rematch?
Yep. Best for me, that Medusa slap I loved.
That was really good.
The Shawn Flair flip to the floor.
Yeah, brutal.
Loved that. And even just Savage's, I mean, I've already said it on here, his little comeback to Lawler's cracks about his dating life and whatnot. He just
Lawler's
came back
jokes
from
were pretty great.
Oh yeah,
So-
Lawler is one of the best heels of all time.
Well, it was fitting back then.
I don't write
just
jokes
doesn't-
down too often unless they get me, and that one definitely got me.
Yeah. Lawler back then was a whole lot funnier telling those kind of jokes than he is now telling those kind of jokes, because he's telling jokes from then now and they just don't hold up.
The two matches on this show do feel like pretty modern, and they also are kind of better because they actually sell the stuff. They do a lot of things you see now, but they actually let it breathe, and they take more time to sell the moves, and the moves mean a little bit more. So it was nice to see like a quick match with lots of big moves where they all still mean something. 'Cause sometimes I'm just like, we're no selling power bombs all the time.
How about most disappointing? I mean, I think we've all decided that pretty much the entire King's Court segment is just... But I think we say that about every King's Court segment. Like, he usually has one or two good lines, but
then Backlund shows up.
for most of the time, it's just like, can we just end this, please? Please, now.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just
It's a 5-minute segment, and it goes on 4 minutes too long, usually.
Yeah.
Especially in this case where it's two people that we don't know having conversations about stuff that we don't care about, and then he pulls her into the ring and kisses her.
And just
or
like,
tries to.
embarrasses her. And
then
we even feel uncomfortable about it.
And then the whole point of the segment is to get Backlund over.
And that didn't work.
And we don't even do that.
Yeah.
Because of maybe technical difficulties. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it was just...
Yeah. They were trying to do something with Bob's hair, and they couldn't get it, so they just left it as poofy as...
It's kind of disappointing that they didn't tell me where Diesel got the belt from.
True.
But I understand why.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he won it on a Raw.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. But I would have liked to see a clip of it.
Because if you remember, Diesel had it before King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Because it was champion versus champion.
Yeah, that is true.
So he's had it for a while.
Yeah.
At this point. How about best performer of the night? I'm just going to tell you guys right now that
It's hard to not say Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels is on the show.
I think if this wasn't a TV match, Shawn and Razor probably is on the short list.
Oh, yeah, like if this was this match was pay-per-view quality, good.
Yeah.
Honestly, both the matches were. The only thing that stops the Blayze Nakano one from that is because they are building to the pay-per-view match show, and this was the count-out to, like, build it up. So it's like, all right, well, if it has a finish, then it is a pay-per-view quality match. The count-out, I'm super excited for the next one.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to old Andrea. Because
She had to take a kiss.
She had to take the weird kiss from Lawler. She had to go through that weird segment with Lawler. And if this whole thing was true, she had to go home with old weird Mike Boyle. So
I hope she
Andrea Boyle, if you're out there and that's your name this day, more power to you.
Yeah.
Love you, sister.
You're a true queen. I hope that she got a better payout at the end of the day than George Anderson or Tom Bennett for what she had for what she had to do.
Yeah. How about most surprising? I mean, I was surprised to see Bull Nakano. I wasn't quite sure when we were going to get to her.
Yeah, I was as well. I was very excited when I turned this on, and I was like, oh, first match? Cool. And then they said this name of who was in the second match, and I was like, all right, well, this is going to be an easy 45 minutes. No problem. This is the way I'd like to spend 45 minutes of wrestling.
That after the last match, I was anticipated for more Raw, when normally with Raws of today,
3 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the length. They're like longer than a fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah. I went to grab the remote and it was like, wait, it's over?
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, they're longer than a traditional wrestling pay-per-view, and nobody wants to look at it.
Oh my god.
It's pretty wild.
Making their way to the ring.
It's trivia time. Woo! This week, the category is the numbers game.
The numbers game. What I say?
I'm good at this one. I think.
All right.
I think this is the one I'm good at.
I was waiting for you to just say some random number, because a lot of times you'll just spout out something as soon as he says what the category is.
Yes.
743.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like that one.
So,
73, the number of the Raw we watched tonight, or is it 74? Maybe that's my golden number. We'll have to find out through the question.
so the first question is Price is Right rules.
Ooh.
And 3 points for the closest answer without going over. The question is, how many states/countries did we have a show in from 1983 to 1992?
Ooh.
80 episodes.
80 episodes.
Through all of 1992?
50 states.
Yes.
We know we didn't go to Hawaii or Alaska. You said states?
States and countries.
Countries.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not like different cities, because that would be
No.
a totally different number, because a lot of these places...
So they could have gone to Atlanta and Albany.
Yeah.
I'm giving you one there. Or they could have gone to New York and to Buffalo. That's
Yeah.
just one. And if they went to like 3 different places in Japan, that's just one.
I'm going to make a...
So if they had just 27 shows in 1 year in New York, it just counts as one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
How many
states?
I counted just
Making
states.
sure.
I'm going to go first with a low number, and I'm going to go with 17.
17 is his guess.
Which is probably low.
Does Shane go
Probably
higher?
low. But I
Ooh.
know we go to a lot of the same places a lot of the time.
We do. Let me think.
I know we haven't been to Oregon. Or North Dakota.
It's very true.
So that's... I'm
there's-
reasoning it. I'm probably just giving him more time to think over here.
But
Price is Right
there's-
rules, though.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of food options. Okay. We've been here. I'll say higher. 18.
Oh, you son of a putt.
The answer is 26.
Sorry.
You're good.
Last time I got you on the numbers game, just going 1. So this time I had to go 1 higher.
I mean, I did do a wildly low number.
Yeah.
It was probably a little too, like...
I thought that was a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
I think so? Okay, cool. I knew
Especially
that...
considering some of the guesses you guys have given.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't 40. I knew it wasn't, like, that high.
Nah.
So, and it's like, well, we've been...
Like, we've been to Japan. We've been to
we went to
We've been to
Canada,
Britain.
We had some bonus questions.
Oh,
for you
yeah.
guys.
Oh, okay.
You wanna get-
Forgot it's a
Yeah,
numbers
yeah.
game.
For 2 points, which location had the most shows? 83 to 92.
I will go with. I have 2 in my head. I'll go Atlanta.
Okay, he's going with Georgia.
Going with the Georgia.
Oh yeah.
That's actually what I was going to be saying too.
Yeah, I was gonna. My other guess was was the other
The other
more obvious option, I guess.
I'm trying to think of where
I like that I said Atlanta.
New York.
Didn't even bother with calling it. Actually saying the name of the state.
Yeah, I'm torn between Georgia and New York because I know there's been some Madison Square Garden stuff.
I mean, mine's the same place mine was.
Yeah.
And then
Screw
Matt's
it.
going to be like, Albany. And we're going to be like, yeah, right. Oh, I guess Albany would still
Georgia.
count for New York.
So you're both going for Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, you're both wrong.
Oh, New York City.
Was it New York?
North Carolina.
That was my
See?
third one, but I feel like Atlanta just because 92 is the big difference because we probably see more Atlanta once WCW really is Ted's game and not JCP's game.
True.
So and yeah, Flair Country, considering Starrcade, it all checks out.
I got one more bonus question for you.
all
Okay.
right.
You have to give me the exact number
Oh, shite.
to get the points.
Okay.
But how many times did we go to North Carolina?
Between 83 and 92,
83 and 92.
13.
And see, this is where I was going to say 17.
Go for it. It's an exact one, so we
Um,
both could have nothing here.
One,
Much like the
two,
last question.
Let's see, 83 to 92, that's 9 years. So there's at least once in each of those years. And you said what?
I said
You
13.
said 13.
If it's 17, which was my guess for the first question, I'm going to shit and piss myself.
Sometimes twice per year, I'm sure. Yeah, screw it. 17.
Oh my god.
Those are both incorrect.
Okay, that makes me feel good.
14, right?
It was 10 times.
10.
Oh!
So we both went over. But you
I
were
originally
closer.
wanted to go lower, but I was like, we had to have gone twice.
But hey, I still got 3 points. Woo!
Yeah, you got it.
So our scores right now are Shane 87,
1 million points.
Michael 47.
500,000 points.
Still got a few episodes. You still got a chance.
We're almost there.
But you might want to start warming up those vocals.
Warm up that vocal. I guess I got to figure out what you're going to be singing too. Come up with a list. Do a lethal lottery. Have you select the ball?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whose boots have your bed been under? Or whose bed is your boot? Have your boots been under? That feels pretty appropriate for a wrestling. Ric Flair's like at 10,000. Is that his number?
Yeah, we're still too early for Shania.
Next week, the G1 Climax Final.
1994.
That's right.
The final climax is the best. Or maybe not. I don't know.
The final climax.
Du-du-du-du.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So we're headed over to Tokyo, Japan.
Ooh.
Ryogoku Sumo Hall. I've seen a lot of stuff that takes place in Ryogoku Sumo Hall, and every time I see us cover something here, it's always like,
I just learned how to say Ryogoku Sumo Hall. So
Well, I mean, I watch sumo wrestling. I watch New Japan, so I'm always in Ryogoku Sumo Hall. it feels like.
Ryogoku, Kurakuin,
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome,
Osaka Joe Hall. Yeah. Those are the.
Those are the four big ones.
Japan's not a
Cool.
big place, but
No.
they got big arenas and they got a big thirst for good wrestling.
Music for this week's show is Monday Night Raw and Smoking Guns won our main event.
Oh my God!
So we're going to play their music, Smokin'.
Ooh.
And both of those tunes are by Jim Johnston. If you like this show or any of our others, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you find your podcasts at.
Smoking in the face locker room.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email us at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com
Hey, Matt. What if they have some recipes?
or recipes.
Yeah, you could even. Does Twitter do DMs? I don't do Twitter.
They do.
They do.
Maybe slide into the Twitter DM.
I wish somebody would. I always hear about people getting slid into their DMs. It's our turn, damn it.
Oh, no dick pics, please.
Maybe not Jerry Lawler. Or
Maybe
you
dick
can-
pics, I don't know.
Or you can find us on Twitter at Wrestling Histox. That's Wrestling HISTO.
X.
We'll talk to you next week.
Later.